Have you ever thought to yourself that you knew you wanted to get these credit cards paid off, but for whatever reason, it's been taking longer than you expected? What if you have been possibly paying your credit cards wrong? In this video, I want to go over some ways that you can access different credit cards with 0% interest that allows you to have more of your money going towards the debt, which expedites the speed to which you're able to pay down your credit cards and get them paid off the right way. That being said, let's go. Take control of your credit card debt, pay no interest for up to 21 months. So basically, this gives you the ability for all of your payments to go towards the actual debt without those lumps of interest. Now, the reason why I say majority of your money goes to the debt is because there are some fees associated with what I'm talking about. But when you do the math, it's probably much less than what it would cost you to pay off your credit card in a typical sense, where the interest rate is extremely high. So high interest charges can make tackling your credit card balances seem nearly impossible. But with the right 0% interest APR card, you can hit pause on high interest payments, allowing you time to pay down your debt while saving money in the process. These top picks from the partners basically could be a great get out of debt tool offering no interest for up to 21 months. So I'm gonna give you some cards that have 0% interest for you to consider. Do your own due diligence, but I'm just giving it to you because I feel this is something that can help a lot of people. We've benefited previously from having a 0% interest card, doing a balance transfer. That balance transfer allowed us to transfer whatever the amount was. We paid whatever the fee was associated with the balance transfer. Now all our payments were going towards paying down the debt. And now we're able to pay zero interest on it and pay it down much faster than had we not done that. So all of these cards allow you to do it. And of course, there are perks and pros and cons to everything. But the first one I want to share is the Wells Fargo Reflect. So it was listed as a winner, but I won't even focus on that. The main thing is how long can you have 0% interest, and can you get those debts paid down before the interest kick in? Now, I will give you a disclaimer when it comes to this, but stick around for that disclaimer just so you can understand how to maximize the power in these 0% interest cards, because not only can it help you pay off debt, it can help you boost your credit score infinitely in terms of giving you a strong boost and being able to maintain high credit scores and save you a ton of money on interest just by doing this the right way. So definitely want to stick around for that. But this one has a 0% interest for 21 months from the account opening. Now, the regular APR is 16.99 or up to 28, just depends on certain situations. The balance transfers are also 0%, 21 months from account opening on qualifying balance transfer. So if the balance transfer qualifies, then boom, you get up to 21 months. That's a little shy of 2 years, and it's no annual fee. I like to find ones that don't have an annual fee, because just any additional fees, sometimes it can make sense depending on the perks of the card, but additional fees are definitely something you want to stay away from unless you know it makes sense. Now, the recommended credit for this card is 670 to 850. So you want to make sure you fit whatever the recommendation is to increase the odds of you getting approved for that card. But that's the recommendation for this one. And they say, basically they like it because it's unbeatable for the ability to pay 0% intro for 21 months from account opening, up to $600 cell phone protection against damage or theft when you pay your cell phone bill. So these are just some of the perks, and I won't go through all of the perks. I just really want you to see that these exist. But screenshot this and you look into it for yourself, or you can also click the available link down below, which gives you access to the article, and that way you can click directly here. But long story short, you just need to know that these cards exist so you can use them for yourself. So the Wells Fargo Reflect card, the Citi Diamond Preferred card, I actually have this one, and I like it overall, and definitely would recommend it as well, or suggest it if you are in the market for a 0% interest card. This one, however, is a 12-month 0% interest, but on the balance transfer, it's 21 months from the date of account opening. So it's 0% interest just on the card itself and the spending that you do on it. But on the balance transfers, that's where it's 21 months. So that's very important to know. So there's no rewards on this card, but it doesn't have an annual fee. The recommended credit for this one is good to excellent, 670 to 850 as well. Let's keep going. The Discovery Cashback card. This card is basically 15 months for purchases as well as balance transfers. So a little bit over a year that you get with this card. And then you see the regular APR 18 to 27%, depending on certain variables. And it's 0% interest. The credit rating or recommended credit for this one, 670 to 850 as well. And you can get cash back on this card, things of that nature. Citi Simplicity card. This card gives you 21 months on balance transfer, but 12 months on actual purchases on the card. So if you're focused on the balance transfers, you maximize the amount of time that you can pay zero interest. Let's keep going. The Chase Freedom Unlimited card. This one is 0% interest for 15 months, regardless if it's purchases or balance transfers. So this can be helpful as well. No annual fees, has some cash back built into it. Excellent or good to excellent. So 670 to 850 on the credit. Has a solid flat rate, good purchase protections and coverage with no annual fee. This one right here is good for travel. This is the Capital One VentureOne Rewards credit card. I've heard great things about this one. And this one has 15 months of 0% interest, regardless of if it's a purchase or a balance transfer, no annual fee. And you get miles for your transaction. So the reward rate is based on the miles, 1.25 up to 5x. Same recommended credit, 670 to 850. And they have a limited time offer going on this one, so you can enjoy $100 credit to use towards flights, stays, rentals booked through the Capital One Travel during your first card holder year, plus earn 20,000 miles bonus once you spend $500 on purchases within the first 3 months from account opening. That's worth the additional $300 towards travel. So many people love these rewards. Use them strategically, because in all actuality, they want you to use these cards and get these rewards, but you don't want to dig a hole and then put yourself in a similar, same, or worse situation by having these balances that you didn't pay off and you just used it in order to solidify some rewards. So keep those things in mind. And this is a perfect opportunity to get into the disclaimer. The disclaimer is, when you transfer those balances from other cards, it will create an opportunity for you to pay down your cards at a 0% interest rate much faster and save a ton on interest. However, this is what I got to make sure I make note of. When those other balances that you transfer from, those cards also open up. So say you had got approved for a $5,000 credit limit, and the card that you're trying to pay off, let's say it was $4,000. So you fully paid off the card using the balance transfer strategy, and now you have that card that was once a burden, that was charging you interest and that you wanted to pay off, now has a zero balance. And you also have this new card that has 0% interest that you're paying down. The thing that I don't want you to do, and I know from personal experience how easy this can be to do, is now that that other card is 0% or zero balance, you run that credit card back up, so that now you have the card that has the zero interest, and now you're accumulating new debt on the card that once had a balance, and now you have two debts that you have to pay at the same time, because you ran up the card that once had a big balance, but you transferred it, and now you also paying on a card that has a 0% interest rate for 12 to 21 months. And now you do yourself a disservice, because now you have a double debt situation based off of you freeing up the debt. I know that personally, firsthand, how that can happen. That happened to us, and we understood that anytime we teach or talk about this, we got to give people that notice so they're aware of it, because a lot of times people just say, hey, 0% interest, 0% interest, you can pay this off, without letting you know the ramifications that come along with it. So keep that in mind. Let me know if that makes sense. Type that in the comments if it makes sense, or if you can relate to that situation. Then we have the Citi Strata card. The Citi Strata card is basically 15 months regardless of purchase or balance transfer, 0% interest. You can get rewards points, 1x to 5x, and 0 annual fee as well. So they claim to have generous rewards for everyday purchase, 0 interest rate. Then you have the Discovery Chrome. The Discovery Chrome is 0% for 6 months or 18 months for balance transfers. So the balance transfers are actually 3 times as much for the balance transfer, and then just 6 months on the purchases. So that's something to make note of. You might think you have 18 months for the purchases. No, it's 6 months on this card, but the balance transfers is 18 months. So very important to note. And then the annual fee, $0. It has some rewards, cashback, etc. So the bottom line is they feel that the Wells Fargo Reflect card is a great choice because it has the 21 months. So it gives you that time frame, so you don't have to worry about paying interest up until 2027 sometime. And when it comes to these cards, you get some other perks, like this one gives you access to your FICO score. That means you can pull your reports, your FICO, just by having access to this card. You get the cell phone protection. But you can also consider all of these other cards and figure out which one is the best one for you. So hopefully this helps. Hopefully this puts you in a position to where you can leverage your current status of credit, if you have 670 or better, to now get access to a 0% interest card, pay your credit cards down faster, but also position yourself to boost your credit score significantly. Because now once you're paying your credit cards down faster, for one, when you zero out the balance of the other card, that helps you boost your score up to 165 points. But getting the balances down on both cards, once you start paying on the card that you transferred over to, helps you significantly as well. And now you're in a position to where you have multiple credit cards with decent limits and you have a high credit score. And this is exactly what it takes to position yourself to get that 800 or even perfect credit score by properly knowing how to use these credit cards.